Sean Strickland without a doubt beat DDP, and let me tell you why. We're gonna break down the first fight. In the first minute of the first round, Strickland threw a jab, a teep, and an inside leg kick. Throughout the round though, DDP was trying to throw him off with the blitzes, the stand switches, and the leg kicks himself. But I think the first round goes to Strickland due to these reasons. 1. He pushed the pace with the jab. 2. None of DDP's blitzes phased him at all. 3. DDP was throwing and hoping. 4. The takedown wasn't worthy for him to win a round as it didn't threaten Sean at all. 5. Sean was defensively sound, but so was his offense. His jab was extremely predictable, yet DDP couldn't counter. In the last seconds of the round, Sean lands a beautiful hook. Round 1 definitely goes to Sean. In the beginning of round 2, yet again DDP threw wild strikes but landed nothing fight-changing. But his defense was good, as in he did a great job shelling up to Sean's combinations. Great adjustment to round 1's ending. Sean's jabs and teeps this round were so much more clean in my opinion. Everyone talks about Adesanya's distance management, but nobody talks about Sean's. His footwork is perfect in the sense that he advances just the right amount with the jab and moves out of danger perfectly with DDP's shots. These are the fundamentals of striking, but if used right, the fundamentals can get you very far, guys. Yes, even to a UFC World Championship fight. DDP's leg kicks were working well. From the beginning till here, they were landing nicely. But let's talk about this moment of the fight. Sean, you have perfect distance management, but here is where you should have put on pressure to end the fight, or at least take the round with no questions asked, in my opinion. Up till now, if you're actually rewatching the fight with me closely, I don't know why you'd give this round to DDP. By the end of round 2, Strickland adjusted to his leg kicks and evaded almost all of his shots. He landed way more shots and was more defensively sound. Dricus only landed one good shot on him that cut him, then got the takedown, which he did nothing with. If this is what won him the round, that's silly. It's a moment of the round. It's not the whole fight. With that logic, Gilbert should have won the Chimaev fight, which he obviously didn't. But anyways, round 3 started the same as round 2. Only major difference was DDP putting on even more pressure because he's a f***ing cardio machine, dude. DDP blitzed in, and when he adjusted himself, Strickland advanced jabbing and teeping. Despite that, there's nothing special about this round. But in conclusion, Sean's jabs landed way more than DDP's wild strikes. I'm having trouble understanding how Sean lost the fight, simply for the fact that DDP's game plan was to take the fight to the center and brawl it out, but he couldn't even take the fight to Sean, and I can tell you why. He was defensively sound, meaning that he gave DDP no room to cause any damage, neither with his grappling nor with his wild combinations. Why do you think I say this exactly? Because he has a crisp jab. By the end of round 3, Dricus may have won the crowd, but not the fight. In this blitz, it looks like he caused Strickland trouble, but absolutely no shots landed if you look closely. A minute and 15 seconds into the 4th round, and they start trading a little more. Unfortunately for someone Dricus' size, Sean's a pillow puncher, but for someone like Sneeko, not so much a pillow puncher. Here, DDP lands his infamous ass strike. Everyone calls Sean's style boring, but they fail to speak on how effective it is. If the two were to brawl in the middle, it wouldn't go Sean's way. But either way, DDP can't bring the brawl to him because he keeps eating the jab. So, before calling him boring, you have to tell yourself, hell man, this guy is really f***ing good, dude. And watching a master of his craft practicing his specific craft in a high-stakes championship fight in front of a 57,000 person crowd is never boring in my opinion. I think it's safe to say Sean might have the snappiest jab in the UFC right now, and to call it flat out boring would demean the art of fighting, but that's just my opinion. DDP really impressed me with the trip he got in the over-under position, which Sean initiated, by the way. Clean and quick. If DDP capitalized here, he would have gotten a brutal finish. In the last 2 minutes of the round, DDP without a doubt got the better of Sean. Amazing performance by him. Although, we gotta say this, despite tossing Sean around, his wrestling genuinely didn't seem to be bothering him, as in, he couldn't keep a hold of him. But DDP not being able to keep a dominant position over Sean is what makes him being able to toss Sean around even more impressive. Beautiful offensive wrestling to say the least. Without a doubt, it's only fair to say this round goes to DDP. Sean either had 2 choices to win this last round. 1, try to put DDP on the back foot, and if that doesn't work, second option, meet him in the middle and outland him. I thought round 5 was gonna be a copy-paste of the whole fight all over again, with DDP missing his wild shots and eating Sean's jab. But it all changed shortly after his second failed takedown attempt. Sean started throwing wild shots, going blow for blow with DDP. Overhand after overhand and flying knees. Kinda reminds me of the last seconds of the Paulo Costa fight. The last minute, Sean Sean picked up the pace to secure what he thought to be a 4-1 victory, or 49-46 you could call it, meaning he'd have won 4 10-9 rounds and lost 1 10-9 round. But obviously that wasn't the case. This is why I think the judges ended up giving the fight to DDP. Even though Sean was more technical, DDP looked like he was outlanding him every single round. But when you actually rewatch the entire fight footage and look closely, he actually didn't. Like at all. But it's things like these that sway the judges. Second thing is the takedowns. Even though he didn't do much with them, they looked impactful in real time, especially in round 4. Another big factor could be the crowd. For lack of a better word, DDP is the more entertaining fighter. So every time he blitzed in, the crowd went crazy. I sincerely believe that crowd energy can influence how close the rounds are scored. Basically, long story short, when you combine his aggression, wrestling, and crowd reaction within the fight, it makes sense why the scorecards lean to him, even if the actual numbers said otherwise. I believe the judges need to seriously factor in strikes landed and accuracy percentage when they're scoring a match, but that's just my opinion. So what do I mean by that exactly? Me and you have a fight. I could pressure you and put you on the back foot the whole match, but if you're hitting me more than you get hit, then you're clearly winning the fight. I use this example because personally all I know is how to move forward when I'm sparring, and I end up eating some shots every single time, but that's beyond the point. I don't believe that DDP beat Sean in terms of skill. If you never land any of your blitzes because you eat a jab every time you come forward, but then you proceed to get outlanded and have a lower accuracy percentage in your strikes than your opponent, I don't think you won the fight. But in MMA judging, looking like the aggressor is all it takes to win the scorecards. This is what I think Sean could have done better to sway the judges his way. First off, I think the biggest thing was not popping the jab enough. Even though he was more accurate, he had to put in more volume in my opinion. Number 2, Sean was too scared to risk his gas tank, which made it look like DDP was the one pushing the pace, which he was most of the time. What do I mean by that? He should have capitalized more with the jab and built on some combinations every time he landed it. Number 3, around minute 228 of round 1, DDP was backing up, and if Sean had capitalized, the round would have been his, or even the whole fight if he got the finish, if you know what I mean, but I don't think that would have happened. Number 4, the optics, as in judges love to see a clear aggressor. DDP was doing just enough to look busier. Sean bleeding from 1 or 2 good shots didn't help for the scorecards either. Number 5, Sean should have definitely thrown more volume, but he would have also benefited from throwing more combinations starting with the jab. In conclusion, I don't think Sean lost the fight. He just didn't do enough to make it impossible for the judges to take it from him, like the Adesanya fight.